everyone. This is Gordon Robertson production, Manual Facial Massage 101. Marie-Josée is our pet consultant and our model for the day. Simona is going to assist in the actual execution of the maneuvers, and I will be doing the voiceover and giving the directives and the specifications for the maneuvers. Okay? So the first maneuver we're going to start with is the grand déflorage. Okay? Starting position is hands are together, like we're praying. The hands start to separate, the fingers interlock as they come down, melt. We turn at the temple, and we interlock again at the jawline. Nice movement downwards, not too much pressure on the front of the neck because we don't want to choke off the client or stop her from breathing. Not at least before they've paid. One hand's going to wait, the other hand's going to come up at the top. We start together, and as we come down, our hands are going to open in between, and the fingers are going to lock and melt. That's it. Okay, and a nice sharp turn at the temple, and again the interlock. Down the front of the neck, no pressure. Across the décolleté. First maneuver is a welcoming maneuver. It helps us to establish the initial contact with the client so they understand the territory. Coming down, we're doing a melt. Fingers are going to wrap as much as possible. Full contact is what we're looking for. So what it does is it also gives us information about the client's morphology, her body shape, the muscle mass, the adipose tissue, the bone structure, the length, the width of the face, the temperature of the skin, the quality of the skin. So for us, it's a very important maneuver, as well as for the client. It's our really, so we want to make sure that we're interlocking the fingers as we start the first part of the maneuver. Body posture is important, so that we're also working from the lower part of the body. We'll do one more time. Yeah. Okay, that's good. And here what we want to do is as we come down, we interlock, exactly. And then we bring the full length of the fingers. Okay. And properly done, it is about 6 times we do this maneuver. Okay? It's a very welcoming maneuver for the client. From there, the next one we're going to do is the vertical effleurage of the frontalis. Frontalis is the muscle of the forehead. And we start the index finger rigid, and then we do a full melt. So what we want to try to do as we do this maneuver is we even bring in the rest of the back of the hand. So we start off rigid, and then we melt. The fuller the contact of the hand, bingo. Because there's a difference. If our hand stays rigid, we're only contacting a very small part of our hand. So sharp on the turn so that we don't touch anything else. What happens sometimes if we indirectly contact parts of the face or we're touching other parts of the face, it becomes a distraction for the skin and for the sense of relaxation. This maneuver too would be done about 6 times. It's always even. So if we're doing 3 times left hand, it has to be 3 times right hand. So we always want to finish symmetrical. Moving into the horizontal effleurage of the frontalis, and we're contouring the full length. Nice, sharp stop turn at the temple. So the other hand's going to come off as we move. This one's going to continue, and we stop and we pivot. The other hand's going to come in, and he's going to tuck. Bingo. Stop and turn out. Bingo. So the more you're also working, bending from your body and not just from your hand and your wrist, it's also better practice for your health and prevention for injury. And the other one's going to come off as soon as he makes contact. So try to make sure that you're always waiting till you get to the temple. So this one's going to come off. I'm going to call out ahead. Keep going with this one. Is the vibration of the frontalis. That one's has to be controlled. It takes practice, and it can be right one after the other. So we don't need to turn and pivot on that one. And it does take practice. Yeah. The closer you have your hand to your chest, the easier it is. So sometimes lower yourself into the position. And exhale when you do the force, just like exercise. So every time you're going to make the exertion, you exhale. The next one we're going to get ready for is the simultaneous corrugator, effleurage of the corrugator. Yeah. So hands are anchored at the back, and they're not allowed to travel with this one. So the key to this one is fix the back of the hands to the top of the head. So you're making nice arches or bridges with your fingers, and it's a full pull and lift. One pair always waits till the other one gets back to the starting point. Nice pull. This one's going to help relax the procerus muscle, which is the one that we get that vertical scowly wrinkle in between the eyes. So it's a nice pulling open the space, sometimes referred to as the third eye. The next maneuver that we're getting ready to do is the alternating corrugator, the effleurage of the corrugator. So now it's one pair and one pair. And try to keep the hands in fixed. So index and middle only, same position. And if you keep the fingers at the top of the head, it's going to keep you in a better location. Yeah. Nice. The next one we're getting ready for is the effleurage of the temporalis. So that's two parts. The first part we're doing is forward circles. In other words, they're away from your body. We're always going in this motion. If we do the reverse, it will actually make the client nauseous or sick to her stomach. So nice, slow, deep ones. The part two of that maneuver is the figure eights or the infinity sign. So we're working in the same muscle area in the temporalis, and we're doing figure eights. Back. Very nice. The next one we're going to get ready for is the effleurage of the three facial zones. So the starting position for this one is two hands at the top of the head. They stay anchored. We're making the bridges, all the fingers contact. So the first starting place will be right under the eyes. So depending on your hand length and the size of the client's face, sometimes you can move your hands a little bit further back if they're longer. And you're going to contact only the fingertips. This is the one where we're doing the slide all the way up. Properly done. Point of tension you should feel would be at the bones of the hand. One hand's going to come back to the starting place, a little bit higher. Should be a little bit more tucked in. Yeah. And now we. So the three zones, the first one is close under the eyes. The second one is going to be back at underneath the cheeks. And then the third one's going to be at the jawline. Cue for this maneuver is all four fingers need to stay on the whole length of time. So at the beginning, when you're doing this maneuver properly, you'll feel tension. Now we extend. So now you're starting under the zygomatic, the cheekbone, and it's the same position, and you're pushing all the way out. 3 times. The third position is going to be at the jawbone, 4 fingers underneath.